And so Micah chapter 2 and verse 11, if a man walking in the spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of his people. Then in Micah chapter 3 and verse 5, thus saith the Lord concerning the prophet that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, peace. And he that putteth not into their mouth, they even prepare war against him. Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 2 and 3 is our last reading. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirits to pass out of the land. And it will come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begot him will say unto him, thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the Lord. And his father and his mother that begot him shall thrust him through when he prophesies. So even his mother and dad will reject him and kill him for his false prophesying. Um, at least that's what they believed. It was if your child is telling lies, blaspheming, then it's your responsibility to you brought them into this world, you take them out. That's how they kind of felt back in the Old Testament. We don't do that today, but that shows you how serious God takes what we allow to happen in our churches and CR sometimes. He hates it. He thinks that he's going to judge it and cast it into hell, and he thinks that it should be destroyed, let alone being asked not to come back. So you may think that that's not very Christian-like. So, hey, you can't come to my church because you're causing trouble. Now I'm not saying somebody who's not causing trouble. Somebody's in sin, they're welcome. It's whenever that they try to teach, propagate that it's okay to engage in the sin that they're in. There's nothing wrong with living with somebody. There's nothing wrong with having getting drunk every now and then. There's nothing wrong with me getting high every night on my prescription medication. That's the doctor gave me that. Whenever or whenever they start trying to tell philosophies where we trust in our own abilities, our own knowledge, and our developing that rather than keeping our eyes on Jesus and the gospel, teaching the importance of the blood of Jesus and his resurrection. And so if they come against us or speak against that, then it's very clear what that we need to do. And we teach, and Mac and them talk about those things. You let it slide the first time that happened. I think they know full well what they're doing. But as it's saying, the second time you confront them with it, say, we don't do that here. We don't teach that here. I've had people come in and teach secular AA beliefs, and I have to stand up and say, we don't teach that here at Celebrate CR. Then it's better if you do it in private. To pull them aside after the meeting and talk to them. But then if they continue doing it, ask them not to come back. So like 3 strikes and you're out. At least that's better than the way we're doing it now. We just let them run shot over us and take over and kick us out. Eventually, is how it was. the end becomes Ichabod. My spirit hath departed. The snuffer has been taken to the wick of the church, and it is no longer a church of Jesus Christ. It's a church of these evildoers. And so we have to defend the faith, defend the sheep that we have been given responsibility over, and protect them from the wolves, the vipers, the lions that want to prey on them and make merchants of them and devour them after they've made merchants of them. So I hope that you understand this. Maybe you don't. I speak a mystery unto those who don't have ears or eyes to see. But I hope the Spirit opens our eyes and our ears, and we hear and we see lies whenever that they happen. That we are given the spirit of discernment, and we are able to utilize that to protect our sponsees and our sheep and our churches. So with that, I've been getting all kinds of notices. My battery's dying over here. But with that, I don't know. Have we had any comments or questions on the... I don't remember anybody saying anything recently. That's the wrong one. That's the search menu. Let's see. Let me check and make sure. I do encourage you. I want you to make comments and to ask questions. I'm kind of disappointed that Rhonda is the only question. What is this? Somebody made a comment on YouTube in what country is that? Bangladesh. But I don't see how to translate it. Sorry. So, but thank you, Jahed, for your comment. I will see if later I can figure out how to translate that. But and see what that you said. But I do encourage you to make comments and ask questions, especially questions. That's what this is for. That's why we do this. Not only, like I said, I started this. I was in Nate's small group in Broadhead, and he talked about sending a devotion to his kids every day, every morning, and so I send this to my kids still. But I would send our Daily Hope by Rick Warren to them, and then I added my sponsees, and also we had Canapple, Mason Canapple would send me, send me a text saying, how can I pray for you today? And so then I started going through my contacts, my sponsees, sending it to my sponsees, going through my contacts, and anybody that responded favorably, sending it to them. Hopefully you're all subscribers now, and I don't have to do that anymore. But that's how this started, was for you guys. And so hopefully I would hope, I would like for you to ask questions and make this a learning experience where I answer your questions, where that you put them up like that comment. I'll look it up and see what he said and try to answer the comment there or the question. And then on the next Waycast, I'll address the comment or question there as well. And so please make your comments and your questions. They're all welcome at this point. If you're mean, then you might get a snide remark. But with that, we want to say as we always do. Good night. Good night. Until we meet again. Adios. Au revoir. I'll be your day. And You'll know you'll always remain in my heart. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Here's a wish and a prayer that everything comes true. And now till we meet again, adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. Good night. And with that, I want you to remember, you are truly loved. And with that, we say good night.